Alex Eala is descending upon Indian Wells, and California is completely unprepared for the impending storm that is about to hit. The local Filipino community is mobilizing with a level of evaporating from the box office, and entire stadium sections are being swallowed by group bookings as tournament directors watch in awe. This prestigious fifth Grand Slam is about to be reimagined into something entirely different. Do you think Alex Eala can secure a spot in the different semifinals at Indian Wells this year? Furthermore, do you believe the Filipino faithful in California will become the loudest fan base the tournament has ever seen? Post your boldest predictions in the comments immediately. Let us dive deep into the seismic shifts occurring across California right now, because a movement of this magnitude deserves a thorough breakdown rather than a brief summary. Alex Eala has officially claimed her place in the main draw of the BNP Paribas Open, held at the iconic Indian Wells Tennis Garden. She did not need a qualifying round or a wildcard handout to get in, because she earned it through her ranking of world number 31. Her meteoric rise from world number 137 to 31 in just 12 months forced the entire tennis world to take notice. Her resume includes a Miami Open semifinal and a Dubai quarterfinal, where she stunned world number 8 Jasmine Paolini. That victory featured a gritty 6-1, 7-6 scoreline. She also reached the Auckland semifinals, the Abu Dhabi quarterfinals, and won a gold medal at the Southeast Asian Games before making her Australian Open debut. She took the hardest road possible to Indian Wells. That is the only path that carries true weight in this sport. Meanwhile, tournament officials are watching the ticket metrics and luxury hospitality bookings with wide eyes since her entry was confirmed. What they are witnessing is nothing short of a commercial shockwave. California serves as the primary hub for the largest Filipino diaspora in the United States. This vibrant Filipino-American community is massive, highly organized, and fiercely passionate about sports. They have been waiting for this exact intersection of talent and opportunity. For the first time, a world-class player representing the Philippines is competing at the pinnacle of tennis, right in their own backyard. She is not merely participating, she is winning and shattering records. Former top 10 pros are labeling her the biggest draw in the sport. Her prestige is so high that Nike World Headquarters in Oregon recently hung her portrait with a caption that resonates deeply. It reads, "History in full bloom." This fusion of elite athletic dominance and cultural pride has ignited a massive groundswell from the Filipino population in California, creating a phenomenon that the Indian Wells Tennis Garden has never encountered before. Fan clubs stretching from Los Angeles to San Diego and up to Daly City are coordinating massive group ticket purchases. Huge swaths of the arena are being reserved by community organizations intent on creating the same deafening wall of sound seen in Dubai. That incredible energy forced even Coco Gauff to acknowledge the crowd after her hard-fought quarterfinal win over Eala. The secondary ticket market for the specific sessions featuring Eala is already seeing prices skyrocket well beyond their original face value. Certain seats are reportedly fetching double their initial cost. This is the tangible economic power of the Eala effect on a minute. It is catching the commercial department of the tournament completely off guard. Their historical data failed to predict this level of enthusiasm. They never expected a player ranked 31 in the world to generate this kind of unprecedented market demand from a specific demographic. To provide some perspective, Indian Wells is widely regarded as the fifth Grand Slam, and that prestigious title is well-deserved. That elite status is earned through excellence. The prize pool for 2026 exceeds $9 million. The field includes every legend. Aryna Sabalenka is the current world number 1 and a multi-time Grand Slam champion. Iga Swiatek and Mira Andreeva are also here. Andreeva is the defending champion this year. Other elite names like Jessica Pegula and Coco Gauff are set to compete in the main draw. This entry list reads like a hall of fame for the sport's current elite players. These are athletes who have spent years building their fame. They command premium ticket prices and the best court assignments because of their established reputations at a tournament of this magnitude. Right in the heart of that legendary list is Eala, who is currently ranked world number 31. She is a massive draw. She is generating more ticket interest from a single demographic than the most established names on paper are drawing from the general public. That is not a minor observation. That is a total inversion of the standard commercial logic found in the world of professional tennis. It is unfolding in real time right before our eyes. The journey to this historic moment went through Beaverton, Oregon first. Before she ever stepped foot in California, Eala stopped at the Nike World headquarters for a very special and symbolic visit. The reception she received there set a powerful tone for everything that is about to happen at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden the brand has ever represented. One specific portrait captured her iconic expression after reaching the Miami semifinals. She had both hands on her face, in disbelief. There were tears of raw emotion from someone who had just achieved something that exceeded even her own highest expectations for herself. The caption, "History in Full Bloom," was chosen with extreme care because Nike does not choose its messaging or captions carelessly. Also displayed in the tunnel was a photograph of Eala taking a selfie with her Filipino fans, which reveals Nike's deep understanding. They realize exactly why this partnership works so well. They are not just investing in an athlete, but in the community that follows her. Placing that fan photo on the wall at their global headquarters is a powerful statement that the Eala story is bigger than sport. It is a massive cultural movement, with a loyal fan base that travels internationally and transforms the economic reality of every event. The timing of this Oregon visit was completely intentional. Eala arrived early in the United States to prioritize her physical preparation. She needed time to adapt to the very specific playing conditions found at Indian Wells. The California desert creates a unique environment. The air is incredibly dry, and the altitude significantly affects the flight of the ball during every single point of the match. The courts play very differently compared to what she encountered during her successful swings through the Middle East and Oceania earlier this year. Arriving in the United States, while most European players are still traveling, gave her a distinct edge in acclimating to the local time. She is getting familiar with the surface conditions and the unique desert atmosphere. These are the small margins that matter at this level. The environment was built on a foundation of meticulous preparation and a relentless work ethic that never wavers under any pressure. That discipline shows in how she approaches every single campaign. She is not a player who shows up late and hopes for luck. She plans every move ahead of time. She prepares specifically for the environment she will face in the next tournament on her schedule. Her early arrival in America, combined with the Nike headquarters visit, represents the exact kind of intentional preparation that breeds great success. Securing a spot at Indian Wells with a top 30 ranking instead of battling through qualifying is a massive win for her long-term development. Competitors who are forced to grind through the qualifying rounds usually enter the main draw, having already played several high-stakes matches. They often arrive with significant fatigue, having already spent the vital physical and emotional energy that direct entry players have managed to save. Last year in Miami, Eala performed an incredible feat by emerging from the qualifying rounds to reach the semifinals against all expectations. However, that difficult path meant she played significantly more matches under pressure than any of the opponents she eventually defeated along the way. This year, at Indian Wells, she arrives as a fresh contender, with a body that has been properly recovered for the elite competition. She comes into the tournament following 2 full weeks of rest after her performance in Dubai, which allowed her to recharge her batteries. Furthermore, she arrives with the psychological momentum of her Nike headquarters visit, providing a mental edge that no amount of practice can match. Seeing your own image displayed at the world's most famous athletic headquarters alongside legendary icons validates your journey in a way training never could. The upcoming opposition is truly world-class, as the top seeds at Indian Wells represent the most successful players in modern women's tennis history. Aryna Sabalenka currently holds the world #1 spot and has established herself as a dominant powerhouse in the sport for years. Iga Swiatek has maintained her status as world #1 for long stretches and remains one of the most technically complete players active today. Mira Andreeva enters the competition as the defending champion and is looking to maintain her grip on the prestigious title in the desert. Every single one of these elite players is capable of beating anyone in the world when they are playing at their absolute peak performance. However, the primary storyline for Eala at Indian Wells is not just about whether she can take down the world number one immediately. It is about the undeniable momentum that builds over 2 weeks when a player with her massive profile and fan base moves through rounds. Any player who faces her will have to do so in front of thousands of screaming Filipino fans, creating noise levels never before seen. This creates a unique and intimidating competitive environment that naturally favors the athlete who is being lifted by the roar of the crowd. The predictions from Sam Querrey and Steve Johnson about Eala's drawing power being a massive force have proven true throughout 2026. The crowds in Auckland were absolutely stunning, and the fans in Melbourne set new attendance records as they showed up in massive numbers. In Abu Dhabi, the atmosphere was incredibly electric as supporters turned every match into a high-energy celebration of talent and national pride. In Dubai, Coco Gauff actually took a moment to thank the Filipino fans for bringing a new level of energy to the entire tournament. Even so, the sheer scale of the community in California is on an entirely different level than anything she has experienced before. The Filipino population here is not just a small group of casual fans who decided to make a quick trip to the tournament. This is a massive and well-organized diaspora that has been eagerly waiting for this moment since her breakthrough performance in Miami last year. Tournament directors who are currently shocked by the spike in ticket sales are realizing this is not just a temporary burst of interest. They are witnessing a fundamental change in who is attending their event and the specific reasons why they are buying tickets this year. For a long time, tennis in America has tried to reach more diverse audiences and attract communities that typically do not follow the sport. Eala achieved this goal in just one season through her winning spirit and dignity without needing a massive marketing campaign to do it. Rising secondary market prices show that every commercial touchpoint of the tournament, from food to parking, will feel the impact of this massive crowd. Eala achieved these massive goals within just a single season and without the need for a massive corporate marketing campaign. She did not rely on a complex, coordinated outreach strategy or expensive public relations firms to build her current global brand. Her success was built purely on winning tough matches and carrying herself with a level of dignity and fierce competitiveness. This authentic approach makes people from all walks of life feel immensely proud to associate themselves with her unfolding story. The skyrocketing ticket prices on the secondary market represent significant capital flowing directly into the Indian Wells economic ecosystem. This revenue is coming from a specific demographic that historically had not generated this level of intense economic activity at tennis events. Every aspect of the event, from the food vendors and merchandise stands to the luxury hospitality suites and parking lots, will feel the surge. Every single commercial touchpoint of the tournament is bracing for the impact of thousands of Filipino fans descending on the California desert. When she finally steps onto that stadium court for her opening match of the tournament, she will certainly not be standing alone. She will be supported by a massive and vibrant wall of blue, red, and white colors cheering her on from the stands. She is going to hear her name chanted with a level of passion that most players at her current ranking have never experienced before. She will compete in an electric atmosphere that makes even the most seasoned opponents feel like they are playing an away game. Tennis legend Kim Clijsters noted that Eala must navigate a life similar to being the Michael Jordan of the Philippines. In California, she is about to discover exactly what it feels like to have that monumental energy transferred directly onto American soil. The local Filipino diaspora is prepared to give her the same incredible support she received in Dubai, and then some more. Indian Wells officially opens on March 4th, and the long-awaited countdown to the first serve is essentially over. The fans have secured their seats, the sections are fully reserved, and the entire community is perfectly organized for the event. Eala arrives fresh from Oregon, with the absolute and full confidence of the Nike brand on display for the world. She carries a career-high ranking that officially places her within the top tier of this elite and challenging tournament draw. She is prepared to walk onto those famous purple courts and experience a moment for which the tournament history has no precedent. This prestigious fifth Grand Slam is about to be infused with a very different and highly explosive kind of energy. Every player in the draw who faces Eala in front of that massive crowd will finally understand what Coco Gauff realized in Dubai. Competing against her as an individual is one challenge, but facing her and the entire Filipino community simultaneously is something else entirely.